Hello everyone, I'm making this video because I can't find any solution of my problem. So after a lot of troubleshooting, looking here and there, I finally found a solution for that, which is I can't cast from one VLAN to another VLAN on particular network, specifically like on my Omada setup. So that's why once I figure it out, I would say let's put this video out there. So if anybody else have a trouble, they can refer to this video and then get some help. So basically, as this is my first video, I'm tried to make it perfect, but I'm just using some slides to better understand how it goes. So by default, I use my TP-Link Omada network. Since I upgrade to this network, I can't even do a cast to Fire TV. I can't see my devices across the VLAN because my IoT devices on the separate VLAN, and the devices I want to cast from, like my cell phone or laptop, they was on my home network. So that's why it was start giving trouble since I implement this network. So after a lot of troubleshooting, this is the process I followed. So you guys can go through it. So what I did, basically, I had a Omada setup. The hardware I have is a router 7006, and the switch was SG2428P, and the controller I use OC200. And to make it work, I use a separate device. I pick up Raspberry Pi 5, just the basic one, 2 gig RAM, and then I use it as a SSDP relay. So basically, what it just forward the ports, transmit the cache to the different VLAN groups. So it was look like this before. So whenever I search from my home network to the IoT network, I can't find any devices on my IoT network because due to the VLAN restrictions, they can't overpass from the one VLAN to another VLAN. And same for the Chromecast or the YouTube cast. I can't see any devices on my list. So I can see when I join the same VLAN, but not on the different VLAN though. So what I start with, this is the how the layout works. What I did. So the first one is my, this is my Omada switch, SG2428. That's the 16 port switch. So what I did, sorry, 24 port. So what I did, put a Raspberry Pi in between, and then I give that, I tag it as two sub VLAN, one for my smartphone, Android or iOS. I mean, I just put that there. So that's basically my home network. I just give it a VLAN one, and then the other one is where my IoT devices. So it could be a Fire TV stick or a Chromecast. So I make it. That's a separate IoT VLAN. So I put it as a VLAN 2, but it could be any number on your side. So and then my controller, which is was on VLAN 10. Let's see, assume a PC or something. But yeah, it could be irrelevant. So you shouldn't be have any problem with this if you don't put it. So our main focus is on these two, VLAN 1 and 2. So I use port 3 on my switch, but as I said, it could be any port on your side. So what next I do, I just go to the Omada settings, go to my switch profile, and create a new profile named Pi Relay. You can name it anything, but I use Pi Relay just to easily identify it. Then I keep the device settings, just click on that one, or I think it's by default. And for the native network, I don't, I think we can change this from admin, or whatever your primary network was there. So I basically left it there, And for the tag network, I picked the one where one of the your IoT devices should be. I mean, on which network your let's see, Fire TV or the Chromecast. Tag it with one of that network, and the second network is the home network where all my devices, like my cell phone and the laptop or any other devices where I wanna cast from. So I put it those in the tag network, and the same for the untagged network. Basically I can't get rid of it, so because it need at least one network in there. So it shouldn't be a problem. You can leave whatever by default there. So, but make sure, yeah, your home and IoT is in the tag network. So that's how it's gonna transfer between those two VLANs. And you can also add another VLAN in there in case if you wanna let's see if you have another devices on separate VLAN, let's see camera devices, right? And you wanna cast from that VLAN too, you can add that too. But for now, I just use one home, the one sending the transmit, and the IoT which receiving the transmit. So after this, just save the settings, and then I go to my switch ports. As I say, I use port 3, but you can use any port. It doesn't have to be specifically switch port 3. So I use the port number 3. Name, you can give any name, doesn't matter. So in the profile, we basically gonna pick the profile we create before, which was this Pi Relay, the name that we gave. So from the drop down list, you just pick the Pi Relay, which we create the profile before, and then leave the profile override unchecked, and then apply the settings. And now your part on the switch side settings are done. So now we're gonna do the make the our relay device, make it ready. So what we're gonna do, as I say, I picked the Raspberry Pi, basic 2 gig version. So basically you guys probably know how to do the reimage, but I'm just going through it if somebody don't know how to image a Pi. So I pick up Pi 2 gig and 16, I think 16 gig microSD. So in the choose device, you pick the whatever. I use the Raspberry Pi imager. Download the latest version and then choose the device. Make sure you pick your um, what device you're gonna use. As I use Pi 5, so I click on Pi 5 after picking the choose device, but it could be any Pi device, 3, 4, 3B, so it doesn't matter. So, and for the choose OS, what I did, I picked the Raspberry Pi OS Lite version, 64 gig, um, and then after that, for the storage, yeah, you just pick whatever you plugged in the SD card. So whatever the SD card you're gonna use on your Pi, just make sure you pick that under the choose storage option, and then you hit next. And under the next settings, it should say edit settings. So I click on edit settings because it's gonna make some changes. So under the host name on the settings, I put a Pi relay again to make the things simple. Just use that one, and then for the username, make sure you pick this one, because you have to do SSH into the Pi to do some further settings. So make sure you set the username password. So I just pick admin and pick whatever password basically I can do. So after setting it, we'll go to the services and make sure in the services you enable SSH and use the password authentication. So that way I can use the hold on, where it goes. Yeah, so I can use the same password which I set before. So that's why under the services, make sure you pick the password authentication. Nothing in the options, so you just click on save, and then it will say, would you like to apply the customer settings, the same setting we just performed, like the relay name, SSH, password, username. So you say yes, and then it will start imaging. And once it's done, oh yeah, it will prompt for that your data will be erased as usual. So yeah, just hit yes, and it will start the imaging. So once the image is copied, all you have to do just put the micro SD back into your Pi. Make sure to plug the Ethernet, the patch cable from the Raspberry Pi to the port you configured before. In my case, I configured to switch port 3. So I plug in to the switch port 3, and then you just power it on your Pi device. So once it's boot up, all you have to do, you can either try ping if you can ping it. If not, just wait for a few minutes. It will come to the login screens. So all you have to do, go to your any computer on the same network, and basically I used one of my PC on the admin network. So all I did, SSH, because my IP was set to 192.168.10.3 for the Pi. This is the IP for the Pi devices. So make sure you can check your IP in the Omada client list, and then make sure you put that IP here instead of mine. So of course, so yeah, I just do the SSH and then put the, so this, all this have to do in the your command prompt on the Windows. So you can either use Mac or anything. So I use the Windows 11, so I just do the command prompt and do the SSH, and then the username which we give as an admin. So as I say, it could be anything in your case. If you give root or admin or anything. So in my case, it was admin. So SSH space admin at the rate, and then put the IP. So all you have, once you enter that command, it will prompt for the password. So the password, the one we gave in the, when we start to do the image on the Raspberry Pi. So once you enter the password, it will go into the SSH mode as admin at Raspberry Pi. So this is my device name. It could be anything in your case, as I said. So that's the by default name of your Raspberry. So as I said, once you get into SSH, now we're gonna perform some list of commands to make the thing work. So the first one is, we have to do, make sure our Raspberry Pi has the all packages up to date and all the upgrades are installed before we proceed. So we run sudo apt get update and sudo apt get upgrade -y. So all it does, it will update your Raspberry Pi package list and upgrade all the installed software automatically. And then once after that, you have to install the Python, Git, and compiler tools, and some essential network utilities we have to do. So you basically run this second command, sudo apt get install -y python 3 python 3 pip git build essential net tools tcp dump and network manager. So once you run this, it will go through all these commands. I didn't show you the outputs over here. I just showing you the basic, all the commands. If it go through perfect, you shouldn't be see any error message or anything. So you can just go through these commands. Hopefully it works for you. So then the last one is, we're gonna check the general status of our network manager services. So we're gonna run the nmcli-t general status. So yeah, it will show you the output, that the command line tool for the network manager. So then what we do next, the next one is we're gonna do the some create the VLANs. So as I said, we're gonna put this device in two sub VLANs. So it will be work as an intermediate device which can transmit the packets across the VLANs. So the first one, we're gonna create a VLAN, I would say number one. So I use one, but you can use any number. It could be 2, 3, or 10, 11, whatever you think. So in this one, we create a VLAN on Ethernet 0 of the Pi device. So we just run sudo nmcli connection at type VLAN, called name VLAN1. This is the name we gave. And then device Ethernet 0, the port on the Pi, and the ID we give is 1. So IPv4 address we gave for that, because my network's VLAN 1 was on, sorry, the home network is on uh, 192.168.1.0. So I pick up one of the IP on both network. In the home network, I picked 1.3 because it was available, and on the IoT network, I picked 2.3 because it was available there. So as I said, it could be different on your case. Whatever the available IP you have on both network, you can assign to that to the sub VLANs. So after you create the VLANs, VLAN 1 over here, the first one, and the second one, VLAN 2. We setting up as a static IP. I don't want to do a DSCP to make things simple because it act like a server, so I just better to do with a static IP. So after you get the VLAN 1 and VLAN 2, so what we do, we're gonna ensure that VLANs are auto connect whenever our Raspberry Pi boots up. So we set a high priority for that network to come up. So we're gonna run the sudo nmcli connection modify VLAN 1 connection auto connect. Just make sure we just running this command to make sure our VLANs are up before proceeding after the reboot. So once it see the VLAN 1 and VLAN 2 are up, your Pi will be proceed to the next steps. So what we do, run these two commands for VLAN 1 and VLAN 2. That's our 4 commands done over here. And the next command, we're gonna do the what you call keep VLAN from being used for internet routing, and we're gonna disable the IPv6 because we not using the IPv6. So just running these two commands for each VLAN as I said. The first one is connection modify VLAN 1 IPv4 default yes, v6 disable. We're gonna run this for both VLANs 1 and 2. So after these done, as I said, I'm not showing you any outputs, but only the commands you have to run. Hopefully go through on your side. And once you're done with this, we're gonna proceed to the next step. The next step is basically we're gonna install the what do you call project SSDP relay tool. So what we're gonna do, I just run cd to go back to the home directory, and then we're gonna run git clone this path to get the SSDP relay package from the GitHub website, and then we're gonna pull the SSDP relay tools source code and into our Raspberry Pi devices. So we're gonna run this the second command over there. So it will once it's done, all we have to do move this into the project folder we just downloaded. So we're gonna change the cd SSDP relay. It will go to this directory SSDP relay, and then we're gonna install the Python module which is required by the SSDP relay script, so that the Pi can detect on the Pi's network interfaces will be get detected on the relay. So all you have to do is run this pip3 install net ifaces. All it does, it will install the Python scripts module for the SSDP relay. So once it's done, basically then we're gonna proceed to this thing, this command. So this one is what we're gonna do, creating a new system service file. So the first command is sudo t SSDP relay services, and then we make it. You can basically copy and paste all these commands other than the IP settings. It will definitely work for you. So the first one we did, creating a new system service file for the SSDP relay, and then we're gonna do the SSDP. Sorry, make sure our VLAN interface are ready before the relay runs. Because what was happening whenever I was trying to reboot reboot the Pi, basically the SSDP relay start working before VLANs comes up, so that will not gonna work for the cast. So that's how I'm gonna delay the SSDP script after the both VLAN network interfaces are up. So it won't have any problem in that. So we're gonna make sure VLAN interfaces are ready before the relay runs. So that's how we're gonna run this command. Requires a system net devices Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 0.1 and 0.2. So make sure it works after this target's completed, and then we're gonna start the service, that's SSDP. So this is basically gonna do wait, as I said, wait until both Ethernet 0.1 and 0.2, the sub VLAN 1 and 2, are up with IP details. So once we're gonna run these commands, all it does, it will delay the startup services until the VLAN interfaces are fully up. And then once you run these commands, all you have, so I forgot to tell you, you have to run all the, you can just copy paste this whole command and run at once. You don't have to run in the parts. So then after that, it's gonna we're gonna so this is like a script. Basically, we're creating a script. So in the script, we just mentioning that system check this, the VLANs are booting up, and both interfaces, sub VLANs are getting IPs before starting the SSDP relay services. So once they detect the ports are up and they're getting IPs, they can start the SSDP relay bridge across the VLANs. So it's gonna start these services, relay 231. This is the multicast IP, and then we're gonna foreground repos. I'm just gonna check all the status of the commands running, and then we also putting up the auto restart options, so to make sure if it doesn't detect any if any script crash or system restart, it will reboot the Pi device automatically. So what we're gonna add is restart always. There's like a 2-second delay, and the user always the command always run as a user root. So that's how it gonna works. And also we're gonna enable the startup when the system boots. So that means this command will tell the system D to start this service in normal multi-user boot. I mean, whenever the system get boot, make sure it runs this command at first. So this is the main thing, the script which makes sure it's gonna work to make the cast thing running smooth across the devices. So after this, what you have to do, we're gonna just do some verifications that our system or configuration working well. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start with the tell the system D to recognize the new SSDP relay services. So what it does, it will just reload the system D configuration required after it's required after they create a service for the script. So you run these two commands, daemon reload and the enable the SSDP relay. What it does, it's enable and start the SSDP relay service right away. And then we're gonna check the IP address on both interface on our sub VLANs of the Pi. So we just check the IP address on Ethernet 0.1 and 2. Hopefully you get all the correct IPs there from the separate VLANs, your home and IoT network. And then once you verify those IP addresses, you can just run the check if the relay started successfully and is activate. So you just run system CT1 CTL status SSTP relay, and then also you're gonna run the TCP dump, so you can monitor if it's getting any connections on the side. So once you run this last command, all you have to do, you just try your um, home network device, basically your cell phone on your home network, and see if you gonna find the list of devices in your Fire TV app, or maybe try to do a cast on the YouTube. You probably see a lot of outputs coming up when you're gonna try those. That means the ports, all those connections are running across the VLANs, and you will unable able to see this kind of output on your devices. So once I perform all these things, I can able to see all my three Fire TV sticks on my home network. So all these Fire sticks are on my IoT network, and then it was on I can able to see these on my home network. And then the second one, so for the Chromecast, or I would say YouTube cast, I can see all my Fire TV sticks again and some other cast devices across the VLAN. So that's how these things works for me. And yeah, so this is the wrap up. What we basically did. So we just created we just configured our Raspberry Pi SSDP as a SSDP relay, so that it can cross VLAN casting, and also easy to discover on the TP-Link Omada environment. I'm not sure if it works on the other setup, maybe Unify or some other um, brands, but that's what I found on my Omena network, that it wasn't by default able to cast across the VLAN. So I have to perform these things after a lot of troubleshooting. That's why I'm sharing you with this. So what we did is just configure Omada, our switch, and assign one of the port to the Pi, and assign two tag networks on there. One was home and one was IoT, and then we prepared the Raspberry Pi OS Lite for the SSH access to work as SSDP relay device. And then we set up the VLAN interface under the network manager on our Pi's Ethernet to make it two sub VLANs. And also we end up verify the operation and confirming that we can see the Fire TV and YouTube cast across the VLANs. So basically it start working right away after I run the last command. But if it doesn't, maybe try reboot. Sorry, maybe try to reboot your Pi device and see if it works after. If not, I would suggest you to maybe just do a total wipe on your Pi and start with the reimage again. And then just maybe just copy paste all these commands. I can just mention all these commands in the description, so that it's easy for you to copy paste. But make sure you change the IP as per. You can either copy whatever I did for the username passwords, like username admin or whatever. But if you're putting a root or any other name, make sure you put it as over here, and the IP of your Pi network as by default when you plug it to your switch. And after that, just run all these commands. So once you go through all these commands one by one, um, and run create a script and do the confirmation, you will able to see all your devices on the different VLAN, and easy to cast over there. So I hope this video helps you guys. So I just if there's anything wrong I mentioned or something, I would say sorry for that, because this is my first video. I'm The reason for this video was just to let it out there on the internet, so anybody who's trying to get this thing work, they can able to see this video, that how I managed to uh, fix this issue, because I can't find any solution, because so I gather information from one side and another side and all compile it together. So hopefully this works for you. If you have any issue or anything, maybe try to comment. Maybe I can take a look, but as I say, I'm not a very professional guy. I just get a help across the internet and different like websites, and just merge all the information I got together to make thing works. So that's all for today. Hope you like the content, and if you do, please like and share my channel. It will help me to do these kind of things again. Maybe get some more help out there, and thanks for all those community out there who helping each other. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.